What is going on, everybody? DJ Vincent, Fight for Recovery Arizona, or AZ. That's what the AZ's for, if you guys don't know. It's been a couple of weeks since I posted a video with you guys, so I'm posting one now. I just got back from vacation up in the Wallapai Mountains. It was freaking awesome up there with no cell phone service, no nothing, no internet. Just me, my chick, and her family. It was pretty cool. I had a lot of fun. It was nice to get out of the desert scenery for a little bit, because if you guys don't know where I live, there's no trees or nothing. It's just desert. So it's always nice to get a change of scenery sometimes. But anyways, I want to talk about a couple different things today. I got a couple of notes over here. That's why I keep looking over. First thing I want to talk about, though, is social media and other recovery pages. So this is how I feel about it. So there's Fight for Recovery. There's Brad McLeod. He's got a big YouTube channel. He's an awesome dude. Big Joe's Recovery. A bunch of other people that I've been recently introduced to. We all have similar pages. We all kind of do similar things. Me personally, I will always take somebody else's stuff and I will share it on my page. I will talk about it in my videos. I will, do whatever I can to help spread somebody else's message along with mine. I'm not selfish in that aspect. If you engage with me or have conversation with me or stuff like that, I'm gonna share your stuff. I'm gonna help get your message out there, like I said, because we all have the same end goal, and that's helping people. And just because we know what it's like, we've been through it, we know what addiction is like. So all of us have our own different basically adventure, like our own different program that we do things a little differently. But I'm always going to help somebody else spread their message and get that across, and I hope that people do the same thing for me. I've had a few people recently put me in their stories and stuff, so I really appreciate that, guys. I really do. It means a lot to me because, like I said, we all have the same end goal here. So anything we can do to work together and get this message out here and try and get people helped, like, I'm in. I'm gonna do whatever. I'd like to do some live Q&A soon. Maybe have a couple other people stream with me, so that way whoever's watching can ask me or whoever else is sending the videos with me questions, but do it like live on Instagram or something. But why I bring this up is because I've had a few other of the pages that I've tried to share their stuff, and they're like recovery based, I'm recovery based, and I just either get no response or just kind of an asshole-ish response from them, because they feel like it's competition, or they feel like they got to try and be better than me or something like that, or they want more followers than I have, or whatever, man. None of that shit matters. All that matters, or how many followers we have and stuff matters, because we're just trying to reach out to more people and get our message across to more people. But whose page is better than the others, like, who cares? Let's just get the message out there, and let's just do what we set out to do, and that's fucking help people. Stop worrying about being the social media king, and let's just get this done. So that's how I feel about it, at least. So anybody out there, if you have a recovery page, hit me up. I will do whatever to help share your stuff, spread your message too. All you gotta do is send me an email, hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I got a bunch of different social media. Just get a hold of me, and I'll work with you guys, and we'll do whatever we can to, as a team, to help people out. At least that's what I'd like to do. Let's team up on this. Let's get this done. Second thing I want to talk about, I don't think I've really talked about much in my videos, and that's triggers. I don't think there's a set, definite answer of how everybody can deal with triggers. I think everybody's a little bit different, so I'm just going to explain the way I am about triggers and how I feel about them and what I do with my triggers, and you guys can either take some advice from it or just see what I do and try it out for yourself, or comment below, send me a message, do something. I want you guys to give a little bit more feedback on these videos, so start commenting and let me know what you guys personally do with it, and then maybe I'll bring that up in my next video and talk about it. But me personally with triggers, okay, in your day-to-day life, you're pretty much going to know if you're going to be in a situation where there's going to be a trigger. For the most part, there is some other cases, and I will talk about that in just a second, like some of the things that have happened to me. But on my day-to-day routine, I pretty much know what I'm doing every day, and I know what I got going on. So I know that if I'm going to step into an environment that may have something to possibly trigger me. Going up to the mountains this weekend, freaking awesome. A couple people drink beer, nothing crazy, but I like beer. But I don't drink beer because I know that I'm an addict. I'm just gonna, if I start drinking beer now, it's just gonna be a shit show. I'll start with drinking here and there, and then I'll just progress and just go downhill with it, because that's what I've done in the past. So that's why I just personally choose not to drink. I am 100% sober. I smoke cigarettes still. That's it. That's the last bad habit I got. Other than that, I don't do anything. I just know that drinking's just not going to be something good for me, so I just don't do it. But I know when I go into different environments that there's going to be people drinking, even Thanksgiving. You know, someone in the family, they're going to be drinking. So I know going into these situations that there is going to be something there that triggers me, or that it's going to be something that gives me a little bit of cravings or something. So really it's just what you do with that. And for me personally, I think just knowing that that is going to happen is a huge help for me. I already have the mindset. It's already in my head. Like, all right, when I go do whatever it is I'm gonna go do, there's gonna be something there that's gonna trigger me. So, I feel like I'm strong enough in my recovery that I can go into some of those environments now. Can I go into a bar right now and hang out at a bar and be there for multiple nights, or keep going? No, not all that. But an occasional weekend where I'm around people that are gonna be drinking, like, I'm okay with that. I'm strong enough in my recovery that I feel like, you know, it's not really going to phase me. It may give me a little bit of cravings. But like I said, I think just the biggest thing is just knowing when you're going into these situations that it's going to happen. So now it's what you're going to do when that does happen. And some of the biggest things that they like showed me or taught me in the rehab, and I completely 100% agree with, is, you know, you have to, one, be completely prepared for it. You have to know that it's coming. You have to have the mindset and be ready. But you have to do something when you are triggered, and I feel like if you distract yourself, like, okay, I'll just use the mountains that I was at this weekend, for example. So, say I'm triggered, I feel like I want to drink or something, I'm in the mountains, get up and go for a walk. If you're at home, you know, you're triggered by something, get up and go to the gym. Like, you gotta do something, you gotta distract your mind. You can't just sit there and just stew on this stuff, because then that's when things will start going bad. That's when it'll start stressing you out. Stress is the #1 causes for relapse. So you cannot do things to sit there and stress, or you can't let yourself stress. You have to do something about it. So you actually have to do something. So distract yourself. Find some sort of distraction or hobby or music or something, to where when you are triggered or you are feeling some sort of way, that you have something set up, lined up, that you are like, all right, I'm going to go do this. Now I'm going to go play my guitar, or because I was triggered by whatever. You have to go do something. Second biggest one for me is talking to someone. So you can even do this with your distractions. So say I'm triggered because I'm up in the mountains, people are drinking, I want a beer, so I'm going to grab my girlfriend, I'm going to say, hey, let's go for a walk. And while I'm walking with her, I'm going to be like, I just had to get out for a minute because, you know, I just really wanted to drink at that moment, because, you know, I just really wanted a beer. People are around me with beer, and I really wanted one. So you got to let somebody know what's going on. But it doesn't always just work out perfect like that. So a situation I had happen recently is I pulled up to a gas pump, and right on the other side some people pulled up, and I knew those people, and it was people that I used to use with. And they get out of the truck and they're like, TJ, what's up, man, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey. And then right in front of me they do a fucking heroin transaction. I'm a heroin addict. They pass it a couple feet away from me. Now that was a trigger. That got me. What did I do? I jumped right back in my vehicle. I drove down the street to a different gas station, but it was eating at me. That one was bad. I had money in my pocket and everything, so that really got my mind going, and it was a tough one for me. So that's really when the distractions and the talking to someone comes into play. You have to do something with that trigger. You can't just sit there and think about it all by yourself. Don't go into this by yourself. Use other people. If you have that good support systems around you, use those people. They're there to help you. I don't care. Hit me up. I don't care. But in that particular situation, I got a hold of my girlfriend. I'm like, yo, I just need some people fucking exchange some heroin. Like, that got me. And I was talking to her. I ended up going back to work, do some things. I was distracted when I went back to work. I talked to someone, so that's what helped me get through. So, with triggers, one, knowing what type of situations you're getting yourself into and being ready mentally. You know, being prepared. If you are early in your recovery, don't put yourself in situations, period, where you feel like you're going to be triggered or want to relapse. You know, if you are a week into recovery, you have no business being around people using, or you shouldn't anyway, or being in a bar or any environment like that. You should just don't do it, you know. But talk to someone, distract yourself, have a game plan for when those triggers do happen, and do something about them. Don't just sit there and think about them and do it on your own, okay? last thing I want to talk about, because it did get brought up to me this weekend. Somebody was like, I've got 13, 14 years of sobriety and then I relapsed. Right. Like I said earlier, stress is going to be one of your biggest causes of relapse. Divorces, major like trauma, somebody dies, something like that, major depressions, things like that. Those are all going to cause or be main reasons why people relapse. Recovery is a lifelong thing. It's something you're going to have to do for the rest of your life. So I don't care if you got 13, 14, 28 million years of recovery under your belt. Recovery is something that you have to practice every day, no matter what. You still have to be practicing your mindfulness, using the different tools. It's not like you're just going to get clean one day and be the guy from Passages Malibu. I used to be an addict and now I'm not. It doesn't work like that. You have to continuously practice. I don't care how long you got under your belt. Anything can happen, especially, like I said, with some of those major stressors, like the traumas and stuff like that I just talked about. If you're not ready to make a lifelong decision of, all right, every day for the rest of my life I'm going to practice recovery, then you're probably not ready for recovery. Or if you're early in recovery, just know it's something you have to practice every day. I got like 8 months under my belt now, and recovery is every day. Yeah, I got my side, I got Fight for Recovery, I got my clothing line, I got my Instagram, all my social media and stuff. So obviously I'm thinking about recovery every day, but it's something you have to practice every day. You're not just going to one day just be fixed and everything's just going to go away. That's not the way recovery works, at least not from my understanding. I've never seen it work personally. I don't have 13 years under my belt or anything, but I've talked to plenty of people, been around plenty of addicts that have all told me the same thing. I thought I was good, I thought I had it, and then they fell on their face after a long amount of time. So recovery is lifelong. You have to be ready for that. You have to know that you have to continuously practice every day. You can't just let some of those tools go away. I've talked about in other videos where I'll start slacking on stuff a little bit, and then I gotta remind myself, like, I gotta get up and get back into it, like my mindfulness practices or my meditation, stuff like that. You have to get back up. You have to start doing those things every day again, so that way you can stay sober and you can have a successful rest of your life. So social media, if anybody wants to share with me or want me to share their stuff, hit me up. I got you. I'll share whatever. I don't care. Let's team up on this. Triggers, you got to be ready for them. You got to have a game plan, distract yourself, talk to someone, know what type of situations you're putting yourself into. And recovery is a lifelong decision. You have to be ready for it. That's about all I got for you guys today. If you guys need anything, hit me up. I'll post all my links below of all my social media, my emails, everything. If you guys need to get a hold of me, then get a hold of me. But that's all I got for today, so laters.